What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Transformers masterpiece Hoist. So we finally got the pair to their Trailbreaker, which we'll bring in later to take a look at, but this guy has some nice paint on him, at least in the vehicle mode. You got that nice glossy green here. There are a couple different color greens, unfortunately, on this. You can see on the roof here, this panel is unpainted, so it's kind of a darker green. And then you have this panel, which is a different color green, but it's unpainted. So there's actually 3 shades of green on this. So that roof is a little bit unsightly, but when you come to the side, it's beautiful. I love the black stripe with the yellow kind of warning stripes there. Turn signals, nice painted silver rims. The tires are plastic. It does roll very nicely. There's a wheel back here too. Here's the back. You have Toyota, it's officially licensed Toyota Hilux. Some red taillights there. More signal markers there. Silver paint here on the tow hitch. Overall, a very nice looking vehicle. Nice chrome front bumper with translucent lights. And again, it says, I believe it says Toyota right there as well. You have some nice options here in vehicle mode. We can, first of all, pull down on this, pull it forward, and then we can swap it out with this one. So if you prefer the tune look, you can have this. So again, push that back in and then up, and that'll lock that in. Me personally, I like the chrome grille, but for those that are really want that tune accuracy, you can have that. It still looks pretty good. Overall, it functions very nicely. You can bring in the crane here. That plugs in right here, so there's a little spot in between the little ears, or whatever you want to call them, the wings. And this has 2 points of articulation on the bar, so up here. And that'll go basically down to there, and then this one goes up to there and down to there. The grapple itself can go forward and backwards. And let's see, does it bend here? Bend there, okay. It's a little tight at first, but you can bend there, and now you can have the grapple like this, and you can be picking up something. Kind of a cool little nod to that episode. If we take this off, you have to hold this down. And you come to the back here, you can open this up. You can actually use this in vehicle mode if you want to, for a little scanner or whatever. You can also move these forward. I think it looks best back. But you can have that nice chrome weapon there. I believe this is plastic. I don't think it's die cast, but it's a really well done chrome. So it looks very nice. You can also open the doors if you want. They're a little bit flimsy, but you can open them. You kind of pull them back, and you can do that. If you want to display it without the glass, you can fold the glass down and have it like that. And I think, can you close it with the glass? No, you can't. So you can have it open with the glass down as a display option. I mean, whatever. And it does open on both sides. You can probably get a figure in there. So here's MP-10 Spike. It probably will not fit the one from Hound, but it will fit this guy. And close the door. It's going to be a tight fit, but you can squeeze him in there. There you go. We can also take the Blastific, and we're going to see this more in the robot mode, but if you want, you can plug this in here, and you can be blasting in vehicle mode. And for quick size comparisons, there it is next to the Masterpiece Bumblebee. I still think this is the best Bumblebee out there. Masterpiece Trailbreaker, and then the Magic Square version of Optimus Prime fits in beautifully with the Masterpiece scale. Now these two are interesting because they're actually the same vehicle, the Toyota Hilux, but they're not mold mates. They're very different in their design because the transformation is different. So I just find it really cool that, and just like Fans Toys did, they made it a totally different robot, even though the vehicle is the same. And yes, of course, you can tow with this guy. So let's just get these out of here. There's a little ridge on the edge of the tow hitch. So as you hook it up, it pretty much can tow any vehicle because it'll catch on that. even this guy, you know, you can kind of get him caught up on that. So nice little design there. It's creative because it can really fit any vehicle. And here's a comparison I think most people want to see with the Fans Toys Hitch, their version of Hoist. And similar decos, but different approaches on the vehicles. You can see the Fans Toys is a little bit bigger. Colors are slightly different. Now we are going to do a full comparison on these guys, so I don't want to spend too much time here. Alright, now let's get this guy transformed into his robot mode. And there are some tricky parts. I'll try to show everything on camera very clearly. Let's start in the front. We'll slide down the grill. We'll open up this hood, which is a feature, actually, I forgot to mention. There is detail in there, painted detail. Actually looks like an engine. But we're going to fold in these rear view mirrors into there, make sure they're folded all the way. But I do like that. I like that they have that detail. That's pretty nice. All right, go ahead and close that up, and then slide the bumper back up. All right, now we'll come to the back here. Open up these. You're going to open up this panel here. We can open up this. We're going to come to the back here, and we're going to unpeg these sides. And you can use a spudger, or you can just pull right here with your finger. And that's going to release this whole top section here. So we're going to unpeg this from here. Actually, we can put this back down. And leave it like that for now. And you want to accordion up on this double hinge. So we can just rotate these forward, and you're going to pull up. So this goes all the way up there. And that gives you more clearance to get into here. We're also going to release this. This is tabbed. There's a small tab on the inside of these that are tabbing into here. So release those. That'll give you a little bit of wiggle room so you can open these up. And these panels are actually holding onto the arms. So that's why you got to open those. So once you release those, now you can separate the legs from the arms. Bring this all the way up to here, right? While you have it here, we're going to take this piece right here. This is going to accordion up, tab back in. Not the most secure tab. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But same on this side, tab that in. Then you come down to the bottom. We're going to rotate the ankle forward and close up this bottom panel, and then close up that back panel. Same on this side, rotate the foot down, close up the bottom panel, close up that side panel. And you should end up with something like this. We can rotate the legs down. And this is how, oops, and you do want this with this slot on the back, because that's how it's going to plug in. So make sure you have it configured like that. And now we'll take care of the arms. This is probably the most tricky part of the entire thing. We're going to unpeg the doors, pull them out, fold them down, fold in the glass. Same with this one, pull them out, fold in the glass. The doors don't feel all that sturdy, so just be careful with them. You know, they could have issues here on that hinge, so just be gentle with them. Okay, come to the bottom here, and we'll take care of these section right here. So these are on a double hinge underneath here. So we have to accordion this out. You're going to lift up. It's tabbed in right here. You can see there's a little orange tab. And we're going to lift up and out on these arms. And this configuration is actually, pretty confusing when you're going back into vehicle mode. So I just wanted to take a note how it looks. You can see there's the double hinge underneath, and then the arm is oriented with the hinge going this way. Okay. Come to the side here. We're going to open up this little panel right there, that hinge. We're going to open up this panel and just pull that down for now. Rotate that down. This panel here is going to rotate to the top. And we're going to rotate the arm out. So you have this hinge extended all the way out now. So you can see the difference there. This is going to come to the top here. And this can get confusing, but this is going to tab into the top. And then this is going to rotate around. And then that little hinge is going to hide in there. So that's what it looks like. Rotate the arm to the front. And you should have it so that the hinge on the elbow is facing forward. And this is on the back. You're going to accordion this up, and that's going to sit just like that. So that's what the arm should look like. So we've got those arms ready. Come to the inside. There's quite a bit more. we're going to push up on this little green panel right here. And actually we can rotate these back for now, just out of the way. Rotate up on this little green panel, and you're going to go rotate down on this green panel here, so it ends up inside, out of the way. And you want to get it so that it's heads up, face up. So we're going to get this lined up, and then we're going to rotate until that head comes through. Now you got to bring this little green piece back in. And by the way, you're probably hearing that this plastic, it is very thin, and it does sound cheap. And that's accurate. You know, it is. That's how it feels as well. It is a kind of a thinner plastic. All right, go ahead, and this head's going to plug back into here. So make sure that makes its way in, and it's a nice flat surface when you're done on top of there. All right, we can open up. Make sure these doors are out of the way. Open up this hinge here and come to the back. You can bring these back up. Open up this backpack and we'll take a look in here. These doors have to swing around and end up on the inside, and it's a very weird sequence, but you want it like that with the glass on the outside. All right, so I'll do it again on this side. Swing it in, and should end up, that basically makes his like abs, and it's kind of awkward, to be honest. All right, now we'll take care of this upper body. So bring this down, straighten up the arms. This is going to come downwards. You can fold this up, and this has to accordion back on this double hinge. So get it all the way back so that it's lined up like this. The best place to hold is on the bottom and top of this orange piece. That's the strongest piece of plastic. So you don't want to put leverage on something thin. All right, come down. There's a slot right here, or the tab right here on the back of this orange piece, and a slot right there. So get that all lined up. Make sure everything looks appropriate. And then I'm going to get a tab. It's a very strong tab, so don't be afraid. Don't push on this. Push on this right here. So get it lined up. When you have it lined up, give it a push. It's a very strong click, so don't be afraid of that. But make sure you push in the right spot. All right, and there is Hoist in his robot mode, as derpy as ever. Very accurate to the cartoon, so you know it's supposed to be derpy, but we'll put the image there so you take a look. They really went for it on this. One thing that they went for, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of it, but he doesn't have a waist. It just goes straight from his stomach to his legs, right? So there's no waist there. And because of that, he doesn't have any waist articulation, but it is accurate. So for those that are, you know, slaves to the cartoon, this thing really nails it. Here's the back. It does have a little bit of kibble, but that's normal for Hoist. Legs clean up pretty nicely. There is paint on here. Some paint things and some paint things aren't painted, and it's really kind of disappointing. I wish they painted everything. So starting from the top, you have metallic blue for the eyes. That looks great. The head itself is unpainted gray plastic. The shoulders are unpainted green, and it's a slightly different shade than this glossy green. So between those three surfaces, there's three colors. I just think it looks really weird. For the arms, you have, again, unpainted gray plastic. It's got a little bit of a shiny fleck to it, but ultimately it looks like, you know, swirly gray at the end of the day. Same for the legs. It has that same shiny piece thing to it, but it's a little bit of swirly gray. You can see it right there. Hopefully it's coming across camera. These are unpainted orange plastic, and it's a little bit unsightly just because there are like sprue marks and I don't know, it's like not a shiny surface. Well, I guess it is a shiny surface, but it's not, I don't know, it just doesn't look professional. You know, it looks like a retail figure. But then this is painted orange, so that looks really good. And we go to articulation, you'll see is paint underneath as well. You got this pearlescent white or white paint here, maybe gray. Here's the back. As far as articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so you can get up to there, down to there, side to side, and it rotates around. But you kind of have to get it up and off of this joint. But it's got pretty good articulation there. Rotation at the shoulder. There's 2 joints here at the shoulder. One that's on the inside, and then there's this one here that's bending on this inner hinge. So you can get that up and down. Arms are very wacky, so that's just the nature of Hoist. But your rotation here at the shoulder. You have a single jointed shoulder, and then you have a single jointed elbow, and it's a little cover down piece. But using both in tandem, you can get a double jointed elbow. So they did a little cheat there, and it does happen to work out for them. For the hand, you have articulated fingers, at least at the end. His arms do extend. We'll talk about that when we get to accessories. But the fingers are on 2 pins, and then the thumb is on a pin at the base. But the thumb is just curled by default, so you basically that's all the movement you get, up and down. Coming to the waist, there is no waist swivel, just due to the way he's designed. I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest. There's also no ab crunch. You do have leg that kicks up to there. There's a little bit of movement on this inner leg, but it only gets back to there. That's as far as it goes back. Forward, it goes up to there, but then you use this lower joint, and that gets you further up. So that was a smart move, and there's some, sculpted detail under here for that hip. That works, but going back, it just doesn't work at all. Out to the side, there's a huge clearance, so you get you all the way up to there. Rotation at the thigh. You have a single jointed knee gets you up to there, but if you combine it with the ankle, you can get him all the way. So again, they did the same thing they did on the shoulder. In combination with the knee and the hip and the ankle, you can really get the full bend. Ankle forward and backward on a ratchet. Out to the side down here, basically up to there, not the other direction. And we do get quite a few accessories here. We get the blast effect done in an orange plastic. It is a hard blast effect, not soft like some of the Hasbro ones. That will plug into here, just like we showed you in the vehicle mode. So you can have that. You can also take this and plug it into his hand. And you do have to extend it a little bit. Oops. And we'll talk about this feature in a little bit, but this is the removable hand. But if you open that just a little bit, we can get this pegged into here. And now he has that effect. Speaking of that, you can pull this out all the way to there. So it looks like he's actually blasting. Pretty neat. You can also unplug this and use this hammer, I think. I actually can't remember. I know it's from one episode, but yeah, this little tool here. And again, if you want to use it, you have to extend it. Speaking of this is removable, so if you slide upwards, you can remove the tip and replace it with another hand. So if you wanted a two-handed hoist, you can do that. And you just press that back in, and now he's got a hand on each side. This one also will remove, so if you wanted to swap sides, meaning you wanted the nozzle on this side, you can do that. So he is ambidextrous, he can use either hand. All the accessories work on either arm. You get this crane piece, and we looked at this in vehicle mode, but that will just plug in right here on his back. So pretty nice accessories. The last one he gets is the wrench, which I thought was really cool. So it's done in a chrome. It is plastic. It looks like it's die cast, but it's actually plastic. And this you can just slide into his fingers. It doesn't peg in or anything, but he can hold it. And I just thought that was a really good, that's the best toy wrench I've ever seen. It's really the best looking wrench. It just put a lot of detail. You know, you have the little roller wheel there too. So that's nice. All right, the last accessories here are the alternate faces. So here's the stock face. It does look good with that metallic blue. If you come to the top here, you can pull forward on this part of the head. Set that aside. Here's the other face. Slide that on. And be honest, I'm not sure what this is referencing or where this is from. Here's the original. It's got kind of a different mask. Me personally, I prefer the original. You also get the alien mask from Hoist Goes to Hollywood. So you can have that to look. And just to complete the scene, there is Hoist with Masterpiece Sunstreaker tracks, the Fans Toys version of Power Glide and Warpath. And now we can complete that Hoist Goes to Hollywood scene. And you can also see a size comparison here. Also, just because it's tradition, there it is next to the Magic Square version of Optimus Prime. Fits in nicely with the Masterpiece scale. So final recommendations on the Takara Tomy Transformers Masterpiece Hoist. I'm going to give this a 4 to 5. I'm going to recommend it. I think they really nailed the look of Hoist from the cartoon, both in robot mode and in vehicle mode. They gave you a bunch of accessories that really harken back to the cartoon and specific scenes. They know how to pull at your heartstrings with that kind of stuff. And if you're a real, you really like the toon look, then this is going to nail it for you. Now, for me personally, I'm not a big fan of having a waistless robot because it ends up having hardware like this, which I think is really awkward looking. And maybe that is accurate for this character because he was an awkward character to begin with. I just don't like the way it looks. It also eliminates the possibility of waist rotation and ab crunch, which I think are kind of essential in a Masterpiece level figure, especially at the price point this is at, $160 US retail. It does feel like you're getting a little bit less. It also doesn't have any die cast. It's a very light plastic, pretty hollow as well. If you look in there, you can see basically there's nothing, this entire chest cavity. But they do nail the cartoon accuracy and the look. So if you're a fan of that, then I think you'll enjoy this. Now I'm going to be doing a versus with the Fans Toys version. So stay tuned for that. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.